Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. My name is Shameeka M. Cottman, and I am the host of Seek No Approval podcast. I am live here on location. It is Monday, December the 11th at 5 p.m. and I'm here live on location at the Ocean Resorts Casino. I am here attending a meeting with potential business, and I am excited because 2024, I'm so excited for the year 2024. 2023 has been more than mind-blowing to me. And Seek No Approval podcast is something that was near and dear to my heart, and I so dearly wanted to make sure that I came back and let you guys know what was going on with season 2 and our new sponsors. And we are so excited to be a part of the Atlantic City Focus family. So shout out to Mark Tyler, located at Atlantic City Focus. Shout out to the team there. They're doing marvelous things here in our community. So please make sure that you check out the Atlantic City Focus page. They have some interesting things going on. They have a weekend guide. So if you need something to do, or if you're looking for something entertainment-wise, with whatever the category, the weekend guide is fully loaded with events and programs and different initiatives that are happening around town. So now that that is out the way, today's episode is about who am I? Who am I? A lot of times, let me just make sure that my sound is good, but a lot of times I come across this question: who am I and what do I do? So I'm here to let you know exactly who I am and what do I do, and what Seek No Approval podcast is. So my name, again, for those who do not know me, my name is Shameeka M. Cottman. I am the daughter of Michael and Sheila Harvey. I was born and raised in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I am a wife. I'm a mother of 3, and I am a consultant, a creative director, as well as a designer. And yours truly is the host of Seek No Approval podcast. So why did I choose to start a podcast? In 2020, just like a lot of Americans, I was forced to pretty much figure out a different career path for myself. Due to the pandemic and being furloughed from my job, it was a very tough time at that time, because again, no one really knew exactly what was going on, so to speak. So it was a little nerve-wracking. However, I felt that God prepared me enough in my academic career, in addition to my professional career, to be able to withstand the test of times. So I can remember being in my room. I was sitting in my room and I was brainstorming. And I often have creative sessions with myself. And during these creative sessions, I pretty much start to jot down some of the things that I would like to accomplish within my tenure in whatever position that I'm serving. And my position in my community has always been on the front line. And I've always wanted to implement and initiate conversations in my community that are very tough sometimes to have. We can talk about entertainment, we can talk about sports, but sometimes we cannot ignore social injustice issues that we all may face, no matter what community that we reside in. Being an African American woman who grew up in the Marina District of Atlantic City, affectionately known as Back Maryland, I was able to tap into some of my talents, and as well as see directly different things happen that I said, you know what, I want to do something about this, or I can't stand this happening, so why can't we do this? Why can't we do this? So I found myself being engaged in my community at a very early age. And I'm going back to as early as 13, 14 years old. And it started off as simply as something as serving as the president of the NAACP, or different organizations throughout the town, whether it be the Rites of Passage program, whether it was the police athletic league program. But these were programs, honestly, that helped develop creative little old me, and I'm sure many others that are from Atlantic City. So getting back to, again, what the topic of today is who am I? Being as though that I come from a prominent family, and shout out to the Harveys, shout out to the Tolberts. A lot of people may not know that I struggled with who I am. Not now, but then. I had so many people trying to tell me in my leadership who I needed to be, but I knew who God called me to be. So with that being said, if I could take this time on this platform, on this podcast episode, to stress the urgency to all women in leadership, or women thinking about getting into leadership, politics, business, the first thing, before you decide your niche, before you decide what it is that you exactly want to do, that you have self-awareness of yourself and self-discovery of yourself, and you know exactly who you are and what you want out of life, what your dreams and aspirations are. So many people I found throughout my journey tried to tell me what my end goal was, and I'm looking at them like, no, God said this. So with that being said, I've come up with a few steps that actually, like I said, helped me throughout my career as an entrepreneur. It wasn't always something that just happened overnight. I've literally been developing myself within my niche since I was a teenager. I developed a program and business back in 2009 under Couture Productions, which simply would give my friends and I the space and platform to be able to perform and showcase our talents to our community, not knowing that it would turn into this. So again, in getting to know myself, I understood that I was different and that I was going to be a leader in many capacities. And it was a lot of times where I didn't feel like I was ready to be the leader that I was called to be, because I'm young. I did start young. I started at 14. So it was a point where I was saying to myself, like, man, I'm 16, 17 years old, and I have the influence over individuals where they listen to you or they listen to me. And that is a very, very powerful skill set, and it's a very powerful trait to have, because you have to be very careful. I did not want to be one of those role models from our community that's just playing a role. When you are a community leader, or when you are a community activist, or if you take any position where you're on the front line and you're advocating, or you're raising awareness or education, you always want to make sure that you know who you are first and foremost. And I would be lying if I said to you that I didn't spend time with myself. And again, with spending time with myself, I was able to decide what exactly I wanted to go after as an entrepreneur. No matter who didn't think that it was a great idea, no matter who didn't think that I could achieve it, I know God gave me the skill set to be able to handle anything that came my way. So a spirit of tenacity in getting to know yourself, because again, there's going to be some things and trials and tribulations that happen throughout your life that will pretty much try and derail you from your task. But you have to understand that the assignment that's given to you, and everybody knows what assignment is given to you from the divine. Whatever the assignment that is given to you, that assignment is for you and for you alone. Can no one take it away, and can no one say that you can't have it. So with that being said, as I said, I have 7 different things I think in getting to know yourself and who you are that will be instrumental to you in your process of spirituality, whether it's self-discovery or again being a woman in leadership. So number one, I'm going to say, if you do or do not have a relationship with God, get back to God. No matter what God you serve, no matter what your religion or your preference is, just make sure that you have an intimate space for Him. A lot of times, sometimes religion and spirituality can be confused, and it really ultimately boils down to a personal relationship between you and God. Intimate. So that's number one. And number two would be pray and meditate daily. So I'm Muslim, and as a Muslim, we pray 5 times a day. I try and meditate as much as I can. I find myself, especially if I'm feeling overwhelmed or if I'm feeling a little anxiety at the moment, I take a second and I just become very still. I turn my phone off. I put down the social media. I take a second and I literally decompress. It is very important that you keep God in your plans. Because if you do not keep God in your plans, He'll have a plan for you for sure. So again, it's very important to, like I said, get to know yourself, spend time with God, pray and meditate daily. So that's taking us to number 3. And number 3 would be to filter your actions through the Word of God. So anything that I try and do or accomplish personally or in my career, I customize that plan according to God's plan for my life. I love my city, I love my community, and I know that we serve the better parts of our community. There are so many things that we could say that are going wrong, not just in our community, just around the world. We can take a look at global news right now. We're at war, inflation, housing crisis, you name it, homelessness. However, when as a creative and when I take my stance as an entrepreneur, like I said, the best thing that I could ever do with creating some of the things that I create is include God and filter Him into them. Because I know that I am nothing without Him. I know that some of the things that He has specifically taken me through, which we'll start to dissect throughout our journey here on Seek No Approval Podcast on our next episode, is I know that He didn't take me through certain things for a reason. I know that it was a life learning lesson, and it was there so that I can help inspire others, that mountains can be moved as long as you want to move them. So with that being said, that was number 3. So the first 3, again, if you are a little lost, again, is number 1, getting back to God. And this is how you get to know yourself. Get back to God, pray and meditate daily, filter your actions through the Word of God. And number 4, seek spiritual guidance. So in seeking spiritual guidance, that can come from a pastor or an imam, or even if it's a trusted family or friend. I try and kind of stay away from the family and friend aspect, just simply because so that it doesn't become biased. But in your entrepreneurial journey or your spiritual journey or the awakening and getting to know yourself, I strongly encourage you developing a spiritual advisor, or actually adopting a mentor or an advisor. This person is someone who should be skilled in giving sound advice. No one's perfect, but giving sound advice, and someone who would encourage your independent thinking, and someone who would pour into your cup, especially when it's half filled. So many times I've run into a lot of entrepreneurs and other women who seem that they're drained or depleted. And you should never feel drained or depleted, especially as an entrepreneur. Because when you're an entrepreneur, that means you're special, you're extra special. That means that you're taking on something that you absolutely love. And when you love something, that means that you wouldn't stop at it, that you wake up, you go to sleep thinking about that specific niche or that specific task. So in selecting a specific niche as an entrepreneur, I noticed that, again, a lot of women that I came encounter with would love what they do, but it seemed like they would kind of say, oh, you know what, I had to go back to work, or oh, you know what, this wasn't for me. So you do have to have resilience. You do have to have a sense of tenacity to be able to become an entrepreneur and hold on to your dreams, because dreams don't work unless you do. And in our 48 blocks, I know it is kind of hard to be able to develop your niche or develop your skill sets in an area where it wasn't always popular to be a creator, or it wasn't always popular to be an entrepreneur. We come from an industry where it's strictly hospitality, and casino gaming, and government, municipal government. So as far as these new industries, this is why I've developed a quote that says, we are the new ancestors. We are the new ancestors. So it's clearly up to us and the millennials, and that's anyone that's between, I believe, 1981 to 1997, if I'm not mistaken. You are considered millennials. It's up to us millennials to now take the reins in these industries and lead the industries, and now let the new ancestors know what success really looks like. So again, throughout our journeys, throughout our journey here on Seek No Approval podcast, again, you'll start to hear different stories of women in our community, women throughout the state of New Jersey, women throughout the country who will sit down and speak with me in regards to their entrepreneurial journey or their career journey, and where their life has taken them from their past till now. And some of these stories, I really honestly cannot wait to unfold all of this to you guys, because it's been a long time coming. And whenever a closed door slams in your face, it's because they don't close politely. Whenever a closed door slams in your face, just know that you have the power to reopen it. And that power is, again, your tenacity. And that tenacity comes from knowing who you are. And again, like I said, I had to take the time to get to know myself throughout the years. I'm 34 years old. I'll be celebrating my 35th birthday on Sunday, December the 17th. So make sure you shout your girl out for her birthday. But in 34 and a half years, I can honestly say that I am proud of the woman that I've become. I'm proud of my village. I'm proud of my grassroots. I am proud of the strides that I've taken, even when it wasn't popular to take the strides that I've taken, but to set the tone that we are, again, the new ancestors, and we know exactly who we are. We don't need to be strung along. We don't need to have influence, even though it's popular to be an influencer now these days, but even so, we have enough self-awareness to know exactly where God is leading us and calling us to. So will you answer your call is the question. Will you take the time out to get to know yourself? And even so, if you need help, if you need mentorship, please don't hesitate to DM me on Seek No Approval Podcast or Display House of Dior or Cottman Works, where we can actually have a one-on-one coaching session with you to be able to get your contingency plans and your niches together. Because again, it's about helping each other. I'm extremely grateful, as I stated, to Mr. Mark Tyler and the Atlantic City Focus family for accepting us over at Atlantic City Focus. We have so many things that are in store. I'm so excited because we will be taking Seek No Approval to a higher and higher heights. Next week we'll have my advisor, who everyone knows and loves in our community. Her name is Jamelia Lawrence, aka the Queen. She was just most recently inducted into the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame here in Atlantic City at the Hard Rock on September the 25th. So again, it's about empowerment and showing younger women that they too can do it, and showing younger women from our community what it's like to make it from Atlantic City and beyond. So I am grateful to have an advisor such as Shameeka Lawrence, who is also an entrepreneur. She owns Violet Mays Naturally Right Hair Salon located at 401 Pennsylvania Avenue. And she's teaching not only education and awareness on how to treat your natural hair, but she's also teaching entrepreneurship. She is a wealth of knowledge, and she is also the fabric of this community, especially being inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame. So I can't wait to recap with her in regards to her induction ceremony, and trying to kind of pick her brain and question her and interview her in regards to her newest journey. So good look. Next week, again, we will be talking with Shameeka Lawrence, and that will be exciting. We'll sit down with her and her trainer, Mr. Bill Johnson, who is the father of Lavender Johnson, and we'll be at the PAL, and we'll sit down in the ring and we'll get to talking about her being the first boxer here, woman boxer, professional boxer here in Atlantic City, and all the things that she has planned for the future for Violet Mays and Shameeka Lawrence Academy. So again, my name is Shameeka M. Cottman. I am the host of Seek No Approval podcast, and I am so excited to join the Atlantic City Focus family. And today's episode again was about who I am. And again, it's a hypothetical question. Of course, we know who we are. We know our genetic makeup. We know our genealogy. We know that. But internally, who are you? What are your non-negotiables? What are some things that you wish to develop within yourself to make you a better entrepreneur or a better leader in specific niches? So again, this episode was just to start a conversation and getting to know who you are, and also getting to know who I am. Again, I am Shameeka M. Cottman. I'm from Atlantic City, New Jersey. I am the host of Seek No Approval podcast. I am a native of Atlantic City. I grew up in the Back Maryland or Marina district of the town. I have 3 children. I am a business owner, and I love my town, and I will continue to create and implement spaces that encourage independent thinking, that encourage women in leadership, and that also prepares our future, which is the generation behind us. So I want to thank you for tuning in with me, and I hope to catch you guys next week at 5 p.m. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, make sure that you follow Atlantic City Focus on Facebook and on Instagram as well at Atlantic City Focus, where you can see highlights from not just Seek No Approval podcast, but other shows included and different happenings around our town. Always be sure to check out the weekend guide, and in addition to the civic engagement guide. These 2 guides are very important because they list all the happenings in our town. The weekend guide specifically, and the civic engagement guide, if you are having some issues in your community or you need to speak to a specific community leader, whether they are in the Board of Education, municipal government, that number, that email is listed there for you. And if you need any additional help, please don't hesitate to hit me or DM me or contact me. And if you absolutely love what I'm doing here in our community in Atlantic City, I am accepting donations through Display House of Dior on Cash App. That's $ Display House of Dior, all one word. Or you can hit the link in my bio if you are interested in advertisement in addition to an on-site interview. So I have been contacted throughout the year, and just most recently in regards to available slots, and I do have least 2 available slots for the closing of this season. So if you are interested, please feel free to, again, click the link in my bio at Seek No Approval Podcast or Display House of Dior, where we can better connect. And I thank you so much for your time, and have a great day. Peace. And don't remember, a closed door is an end result.